Yeah, right here. For the writer again. What exactly would go on when you're in the Zords and you're fighting the monster? It's the guy in the costume originally.
Don't try to win a boner award.
Well, in the Japanese, we would use Japanese footage, so all of that we would incorporate in, and then we would go back and dub it all later. So after it was all, the show was all put together, they'd come into the studio and we put the words in the mouth. So we would write whatever we wanted. I mean,
but I mean, like, were those buildings, was it all like this big?
Well, in Japan, yeah, they have a miniature town, they have a miniature city that they would destroy every day. I always joke that the best job in Angel Grove was to be a construction guy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
So that's yeah, they shoot with miniatures and you know, giant rubber robots. Yeah, and then they put them back together and do it again the next day.
Tony, Jason and David were the focal point of most of the episodes.
You forgot my last name, Jason David Frank. Oh, you meant him?
They're pretty much the stars of most of the episodes. Was that intended because of the characterization, or was it a result of the fan response?
Well, no, actually, most of the first season episodes were written before any fan ever saw it. So the storylines went by were affected first of all by what Japanese footage we were writing around and who was featured in that. So if it happened to be Blue Ranger was featured in the Japanese footage, then he would be featured then David would be featured in the episode.
You guys have the power though.
Yeah.
Dino Thunder, I pissed Doug Sloan off.
Yeah.
And the whole last parts where the Red Ranger saved this and that, Doug was like, oh really? Rewrite. I got like scripts 2 pages. So that'd be nice to the writers, man, you know? For real.
Yeah, but we didn't know you.
I know.
No, so it was just the way it worked out, and there's natural progression of characters, and frankly, since Billy was so underutilized in the first season, it was actually made sense for him to evolve as the seasons progressed, because there was something new to happen there. So. Boy, that killed the room, boy.
How was your, for you guys who acted, how was your acting careers affected by your, being famous from Power Rangers and stuff?
Well, I wouldn't really say I was famous from doing Power Rangers. I don't know. He definitely experienced a lot more of the hot fame.
I just remember going to, I don't know who did that audition with Ed Pressman. I think it might have been me and Austin or something. Or who else? You remember that? They called us in for Street Fighter, the movie. All right, so we got a script. We're like, cool. You know, we're on Power Rangers, starring Power Rangers. We're gonna go do this film. They don't even care about the audition. Ed Pressman came in, said he had a couple. Ed Pressman don't come to auditions, first of all. All right, he's like big time. He doesn't sit in auditions. Hey, could you do me a favor? Can you sign these 2 things for Mary Jo? Mary Slater,
Yeah,
Mary Jo Slater, right? Kristen Slater's mom, right?
Yeah.
All right. So he goes, can you sign this for my kids? Blah blah blah. So I signed it, and I was like, man, they're up to something. They just got me in here just to do that. And then it was weird because Mary on the way out, she's like, can you talk to my son real quick? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. I'm like, hey buddy, how's it going? He's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, it's for Kristen Slater. I didn't know it was Christian Slater. Like I treated him like a little kid. And I asked afterwards, then it all made sense to me. Done. So that affected me, man. He's like, don't hire that weirdo. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That was
No, but to answer your question, for me, that was a great opportunity for me to finally. I'd been a stuntman for a while, and it was a good opportunity to be the lead on a show. So I was happy, and I took it seriously, and I made some connections after that, and went on and did some films afterwards with those connections. And I think no matter what people say about Power Rangers, that was an excellent experience and opportunity for us to have. And people don't just come up and offer that to kids who don't have any experience whatsoever. And that was an opportunity. None of us had experience before that, right?
No. I mean,
Not a lot.
without Power Rangers, this MMA career wouldn't even be blowing up.
Oh my
I have
God.
no fans. I got so many hits now, and the MMA things, you know, and then got a movie deal out of it. So it helped, really, me, you know, but I had to revamp myself. So I got tatted up and started doing drugs and stuff. I didn't, I was kidding. I was kidding, sir. Look at him in the back, he's like, yeah? What you got, man?
Any experience is good experience. That was my opinion of about the whole matter.
Please, don't put that on YouTube. Power Rangers does drugs.
It's on.
It's just coffee, it's just Starbucks.
And on the stunt side, I mean, I always reference my experience on Power Rangers is what made me be able to work with Jackie Chan, be able to work with James Cameron, and hang in there and not give in or not get fired because I didn't know what the hell was going on.
They used to beat Ruben up.
I mean, I get beat up all the time, but because I got beat up on Power Rangers, I'm able to get beat up at other places. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Another question? Yeah.
For Mr. Yas, how did it transition from like being Power Ranger now?
Yost.
Yost.
I knew he was going to say that. I'm just speaking for myself, though.
So, how did you get into producing after being in the Power Rangers? What stuff did you work on?
What stuff did I work on as a producer?
How did you get into producing after Power Rangers?
After I left Power Rangers, I kind of went away for a couple years, and I moved to Mexico for 1 year, and just kind of had to regroup and think about things. And I came back and I decided to start working behind the camera, and so I just started at the bottom, and I started working as a production assistant, which is a pretty shitty job. You have to get people coffee and work like 18-hour days, and so but. You get paid like $300 a week, and but I knew that's what I needed to do if I wanted to be on the other side of the camera. So I just started working for a production company, and luckily, I think because I was smart and kind of on top of things, I moved up pretty quickly and started producing reality TV, and I did some movies of the week for Fox. Actually, Jason came in and auditioned for one of my movies of the week. Do you remember that? It was a movie of the week. Yeah.
I probably blew it. Like Cottonmouth.
No, you didn't blow it. It was a movie of the week. I don't know if it was the Mary Kay Letourneau story or I did a movie or After Different Strokes. Yeah. So.
Thanks for the part.
Sorry, but he didn't blow it. It's just like sometimes once you're behind the camera, you really understand the audition process a lot better because when the actor walks in, you just know he's the part. So
He's a Power Ranger and ain't gonna work with it.
No, it just didn't have anything to do with that. But so I just started doing that, and just kind of have been doing that ever since. And then I started kind of moving towards the corporate level of entertainment, and I moved over to the Sci-Fi Channel for a while, and ran a development division for them. Unfortunately, they closed it up because we were spending too much money, and then I started selling anime. And I did that for about 2.5 years, and then now I've gone back to being a producer. So it's just kind of something that I got into, and it's an interesting process, and I enjoy it. So.
Anything you're working on now?
I just wrapped up doing a show for Bravo called The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's one of them, yeah. So it's, if you're into that kind of stuff, you'll enjoy it. There's some interesting people in it. I at times struggle with the content, but it's a job.